The time is 1903. You're tuned into I Love Melville Live. My name is Makanaka. Welcome to tonight's serving of The Revival. The Revival is a show that celebrates the arts in every space and sphere. On the show, we speak to people in their about their lives and crafts, how they're navigating the spaces, what challenges they're facing, and how they are contributing to the art of African storytelling. In the first hour, we bring you the Revival Celebrates, where we'll be talking to our guests and we get to hear the story behind their making. And in the next hour, we've got a segment called The Voice Theatre, and we close off with Date My City, where we get to know, share, and celebrate the cities our guests come from, and hopefully they'll give us enough information for us to, know our way around when we visit these cities. We're on social media, and the handle is ilovemalvo.live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The hashtag to use is the revival. So please show us some love and likes and join in the conversation. This is the revival, and tonight I would like to welcome my guest. Her name is Tiffany Kaguro Mugo. She's a writer.
Am I though?
I don't know. You
Am I
tell
though?
me. You tell. Yeah, I think you are. I think this says that you are. I think that this says that you are. So how are you doing, Tiffany?
I'm good. Like it's been a long day. It's been a long COVID. It's been a long couple of months because I went through a little bit of a breakup. So I'm feeling some type of way.
You're feeling vulnerable. I can imagine.
Bam. Vulnerable.
It's
You're
not even
lucky
the
I'm
word.
dressed in here.
Are you
Hey,
serious? You could have.
John, I could have just called you and been like, I'm dead.
Oh my
Don't worry.
god. Oh my god. So how does your day look? Like on a you're a writer, right? Or
Yeah.
what's if I'm to ask who is Tiffany, who do you say that you are?
Okay,
Uh,
so when I'm asked now, I was a psych student for 2 years. Putting that on hold to just go back to work while I figure out what I want to do my psychology honors and masters in, right? Because I
mhm.
wanted to be very specific because I want to do psychosexual therapy,
Okay.
right? So I'm not just, but also whilst doing psych, because I just went in there thinking I'm going to pick up a few skills, pick up a little bit of lingo, throw some Freud around and leave. But I fell in love. Like I want to be a full blown psychologist, right? So when you come to me, I can help you with everything and etc. etc. But now I'm like, let me take a pause. Let me take a minute while I figure out like exactly the path I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because life shifts and things like that, and because I haven't been to campus in so long, and then the book came out, so I'm like, I might as well be the mother of that book. So it's fine. So I
Yes.
am right now. My official job title is the author of Quirky Quick Guide to Having Great Sex.
Oh yes, child. Yes, I've got the book, and yeah, we're gonna talk about it a little bit later. But tell me about yourself when you were younger. Like, how would people who you grew up with describe you like in 3 words?
Loud, and very talkative.
Oh my.
Wait, that's 4 words. Dang. But
And
yeah,
and you grew up in Nairobi.
I grew up all around the world. Yeah, like let me not sound like Carmen San Diego or something or where's Wally, but like I grew up like in a whole bunch of different countries, like the US, the UK. I was in Tanzania for a little while. I came here. I'm originally from Kenya.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then just like having a mother who was also in different countries. So then there was also that feeling of growing up in those different
Different
spaces.
spaces.
Yeah, so it was just a case of a lot of nomading, a lot of moving around, which is not as sexy as people think. Because you always find that kids who move around a lot when they're young, like
Mm-hmm.
army brats or UN babies or whatever it is,
Yeah.
the minute you find roots, can nobody move you. And I think that's also a big part of the reason that I'm here,
Uh-huh.
and that I've been in SA for so long, because I'm just like, the thought of moving is
Is
ridiculous. Like,
oh
I'm not even trying to do that.
oh oh wow. And what are some of your fondest childhood memories besides the traveling? I'm sure there's a place where it must have been very hard to like you're just settling in because I can imagine my 10-year-olds. They're like every time they have to move, it's like, oh, we just had friends. Like, how did you navigate?
I was always convinced for the first 2 weeks I was being bullied. Standard. Like every time I moved school, I was like, I'm being bullied. I don't understand why I'm being bullied, right? And like it was always a case of you're not being bullied, you just don't like being new. I don't like being new.
Uh-huh.
I'm very adverse to change. And I think that came I think the being the moving around predated being adverse to change.
Mm-hmm.
So now, even now, like I don't like any form of change. Like Gmail have changed their logo. I'm feeling some type of way about that. I'm like, why? I'm just like, why is this? But like, it was always really nice, like finding friends in new places. I really loved being the UK. That was one place I really loved being. And then I was moved to South Africa by my mom
Mm-hmm.
because she was moving to Congo. And I was like, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And I have been here for 15 years. No, longer. Yes, definitely longer. Because I've
Oh,
been with my partner for 10 years. Yeah, I've been here a
for a
time.
long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And what did you want to be when you were younger?
What did I want to be? A
Yes.
princess. Then I wanted to be famous.
Like,
Then I wanted to be a famous princess. Like I just wanted people to look at
to
me.
look at you and I like you're like, oh,
I just
this
like
is Princess Tiffany.
yes, and
And
I just wanted people.
did you used to practice the little
No, but I was like, I was one of those who you couldn't keep me in a dress very long. You couldn't like nothing of mine really sparkled. Like I played with Barbies for a while, so it's almost like I wanted to be a princess who wore sneakers.
uh-huh.
I just knew that like royalties for me, guys. Like I don't know what else I must tell you. Royalties for me. Like it wasn't even like a case of I wanted to wear a ball dress and no, I wanted to wear a crown and do whatever I wanted. Also, I heard like princesses got a lot of snacks because
Yes.
you know the feasts.
Boo
So yes,
fight.
right. So I wanted to live that life, but like you know, it is what it
It
is,
is
right?
what it is. Do you have siblings?
I don't. I well, okay. This is a very contentious issue,
Yeah.
right? Being an African, it's
You
contentious.
don't know.
You don't know, like no, I do know though. We just don't share a mother.
Okay, I hear you. I
So
hear you.
like, I do have siblings. I have two brothers and a sister.
Hmm.
Yeah, from my dad's side, and from my mom, I'm an only child there. So like, me and my mom were just like out here being like folk solo and just doing a thing. Yeah.
So you must have been like being raised by your mother,
Hmm.
being your everything, like your parents, your mother, your father, everything.
Hmm.
You must have been because I feel like your relationship must have been very close because I feel like even when I looked at this book, I was
Hmm.
like, there must have been something about you growing up where everything is open and honest. Did you have that kind of relationship with your mother?
So my mom is okay. So like, number one, because of like the way my mom and I like navigated our lives, right?
Hmm.
I love the way I say like we were two singles in the city. No, my mom was used to work for the UN, so she was always in like some like weird ass country. No, that's not nice. These are like, it was always war torn, right?
Yeah.
Where she was. So there's a lot of times I didn't live with her. So like, I lived with my grandparents for a little while. I lived with my uncle was my like primary guardian for ages. So in terms of like the openness, weirdly enough, my mother is not very open. So a lot of the journey that I've taken in terms of the work that I do, so like writing books, doing blogs, running Holla, etc.,
Hmm.
has been like my own personal journey.
Okay.
Like I am not gonna sit here and like feel like act like what all the work that I do is, for like a greater altruistic cause.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is just like, basically, it is the biggest what's that phrase, ego project? What is that phrase? When something is done purely for you.
Yes. Oh,
Um
egotistical
yeah, no, but there's a phrase within the art world where like you're basically doing it for your
for
own,
your own
yeah, for
benefit.
your own benefit, for your own like. But anyway, we'll
Yeah.
get back.
That
We'll
that
remember in
word.
like an
That
hour.
word. Yeah.
So like, a lot of the work that I've done has been like a lot of my own discovery and a lot
Hmm.
of pushing myself out of my own boundaries. And just like, the more I'm learning, the more I'm like, okay, let me each one teach one type thing. That has
Yeah.
actually been like the basis of my career. So my mom and I, we are very close. Sometimes we have the problem that we're way too similar, in
Okay.
that we think we're right, and then we are very vocal. There's some people who think they're right and are quiet about it. Hey,
But you guys is like you
not
have to
us,
say it.
not today, please. So like, if we think we're right, and usually we're on opposite spectrums of what we think is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, when we get on, we really get on. When we don't, oof,
You have to agree to disagree,
no,
kind of thing.
no, 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 no,
It's
because we
like
just walk away mumbling about the other one being a fool.
look at this one.
Look at, what is this? Are you not embarrassed? Please.
So I was reading somewhere and I heard and I watched something and I know that you've got a love for wine.
Ah, what is this now? Who is
Yes,
spreading rumors about me?
yes. I did watch something. So I
Was
just
it
wanted to.
recent?
Yes,
Oh my gosh, I still
that
haven't
one.
watched it.
I. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like, what do you wait?
I loved it though. I
Did
loved
you?
it. Yeah.
Was I a dumpster fire?
No, no.
Okay, as long as I
I
wasn't.
I totally loved it. And I was like telling my daughter, "Oh my gosh, she's the one who's coming to my show." And she was like, "Oh, okay." No, so I wanted to find out. So when you're wine tasting,
Yeah.
I had a wine connoisseur yesterday.
Hmm.
So when you're wine tasting, do you swallow or you spit?
No, I swallow. Like I get all the way messed up at wine
Girl,
tasting. Ah, the
girl,
whoops,
even me. I was just
whoops.
like, why?
What?
How are we
Why
spitting?
are you spitting?
Like
What
what?
is? Do I look
It's
like a gazelle to
wasting.
you?
It's really wasting,
It
eh?
is. It is. No, I am a firm believer, even though it's like, because I'm like, look, I understand that you are going to get really sauced at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay. I'm like, you mustn't be precious about wine. Like, okay, be a little bit precious,
Yeah.
because I am that person with my friends who, if we go somewhere, like, people will not take me somewhere because they know the wine is bad. Like, they're not even going to suggest it. Like, we'll be chilling with friends, and people will be like, ah, guys, let's go to this restaurant, that restaurant. It's like, ah, but we can't go there. Why? Aye, but the
The
wine, guys,
wine.
it's Drosty Hoff. Ah, we can't go. So, like,
Oh,
I'm just like, have fun with wine, but also life is too short for bad wine.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Oh wow. So the one thing I wanted to find out, so when you're moving with your mother from place to place to place,
Mm-hmm.
there must have been little germs or gems.
I like it.
GEM, yeah.
Both,
That
both of them, germs and gems, all of
yes,
them.
that you picked up from the different cultures, from the different people that you interacted with. What is one of the greatest lessons that you learned, and wherever it is, like one that you can think of, it you say, when I was in the UK, I actually learned this about myself, or this about the people, or you, what is it that you loved about that specific place?
So I don't think I would pinpoint I don't think I'd pinpoint anywhere that I got something and I was like, okay, cool, this is a nugget I will take for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
I think the one thing I did take from the overall experience was something that I'm moving out of now. Like,
Hmm.
actually, weirdly enough, today I found a notebook of like some of my earlier writings. I used to be a very serious African writer. And I was talking about like the ability to be a chameleon and how no matter where I go, I'm never from there, but I'm also never from where I just came from. Because even when I go home, it's always
Yes.
like, ah, that one from the diaspora. So one of the things that I thought I learned was how to be a chameleon,
Uh-huh.
but really it was just a sense of being able to adapt, being able to read
Mm-hmm.
a situation, being able to read a room. When you have to like make friends again and again and again, you learn to read people.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to do it in a bit of an evil villainy sort of way, right? Where I'd be like, I'd look at somebody, I'm like, it's time for that manipulation game on point. Yes. But now it's more of an adaptation sort of thing, right? So like being able to like see somebody and be like, okay, so you're going through this sort of time, or you're this sort of person, or we will gel in this sort of way. Because you learn very quickly that there are so many facets to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you're younger, you think it's just faking, but then you get older and you realize there's just like different parts of yourself and
Yeah.
they gel with different people. So I think when I like all the traveling helped me tap into that a lot quicker, because now when you're in the UK, like little white girls in the UK are not going to like mess around with the same things as like 21-year-olds there by Santon or there by
Yes.
like Soweto or whatever. It's like a different like ball game. So like you learn to play the ball game and then it just, it just settles into different identities. So yeah.
Oh wow. So I want to delve into what you like to write about, right?
Okay.
So when did you decide that you want to become a writer, or when did you pick up the pen and say, you know what, let me start writing about something? And
Ooh.
do you remember what is the that one article, the first one that you wrote? What was it about? Do
See,
you even
I
remember?
love that this magical hero's journey. So that's a tough question, but I do remember when I was in high school, not
Mm-hmm.
high school, primary. Yeah, in primary, we used to get this thing where those A4 sheets of paper, those paper pads,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now the teacher, which actually now in hindsight was a very weird teaching method, but anyway, would give us those and tell us to write a story. And my stories were always the longest, right? So I had a friend who I couldn't draw, but she couldn't write a lick of damn,
Oh
and I could. So what we
yes.
do is I would write, like, she'd spend 5 seconds writing her story, and I would spend like ages writing mine, right? And then she'd like draw quickly on hers on the borders,
Uh-huh.
and then she'd decorate mine like all the way down, and you'd end up with like this uber like colorful story, both like in words and in like visually.
Mm-hmm.
And so like those were the times when I used to really like writing.
Mm-hmm.
um and then when I grew up, it just became a necessity. You have to write like essays and you have to write this and that. And then my friend wanted to join the varsity paper in Cape Town at
Yes.
UCT.
Yes.
And because me, I like things, I just went with her. And she's just like, I need to join the paper. Like, I really feel I can contribute. I was just like, shoot, I just want
Okay.
something to do. Like, it was hot. You know, the way summers in South Africa can be really hot sometimes. I was like, oh, you're going to a lecture. Let me come and like cool off.
Mm-hmm.
And so we joined the paper together. Like, she was super ambitious as like her best friend and the Robin to her Batman. I was like, okay, cool. I'll be kind of ambitious too. And so she'd be like editor of like a section and I'd be her deputy. Then she ended up editor of the entire paper. So I was just like, okay, I'll be the opinions editor. It was like I really want to make I
Oh,
want to make my like origin story really sexy, but it's really not. My story is less an intentional one and more of a series of unfortunate or very fortunate
events.
events. And like literally one day I found myself writing for the Mail and Guardian. And then
Oh,
another day I found myself writing this. And then I wrote a short story. One of my first short stories that I wrote was in the short sharp stories. Is that what it's called? Short sharp stories. E, I think so.
okay.
The one about adults only, right? And I was one of the
Oh,
winners. And I got guaps, bruh. Like I got like legitimate
guap,
money
guap.
for the hours. Shook. I was like shook. And at this time I didn't know what I wanted to do, like in terms of because I wanted to be an NGO baby. Like I did want to follow in my parents' footsteps in
Yeah.
that way. Like my dad is a diplomat and my mom I guess also is a diplomat but with the UN type thing. But
Mm-hmm.
like yeah. So I wanted to follow in those footsteps. Like doing that whole NGO world. One day I'm like gonna be there giving like UN speeches. That was my grind, right? Hey, then that work permit vibe here in South Africa, and then I just didn't know, and then I was floundering. Oh, this is a terrible origin story, but yeah.
Okay, I hear you. Do you and so when you start writing,
Mhm.
at which point do you decide, okay, fine, I want to start writing about sex and sexuality and politics?
Ooh,
At which point?
at
Like,
which point?
yeah.
Okay, so I think that one I have a better story.
Uh-huh.
I don't. That terrible. That was a terrible lie. So like now when I was editor of the opinions page, I
Mm-hmm.
started like once in a while writing about that, right? Like once in a while I'd write about like relationships.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, whoa, enough. And then when I started Holla Africa, my online platform,
Yes.
one of the things somebody told me, because people have plans. Me, I
Mm-hmm.
never have plans. People have plans. They were like, if you want to get Holla out there, one of the things you have to do is you have to write for different spaces
Uh-huh.
about the subject material. And at the time when we started Holla, the subject material was very much about like, being a queer woman, how to navigate that. And then more and more, it just became a case of like, as the organization started focusing a lot more on like on sex positivity, I
Yes.
started writing about that. And this was around 2013. And I remember, what was his name? Oh, how do I forget his name? But anyway, like my love at the Mail and Guardian hollered and was like, "Do you want a thought leader blog?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Okay, cool, it's lit now." And it's like, yeah. So kind of the reason we're asking you to write for MNG Women and
Mm-hmm.
Thought Leader is because you write about sex. And then so that just kind of became like a brand in and of itself. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
somebody else found. So I don't know if you remember the platform This Is Africa.
Yes. Yes. I do. I do. I do.
This Is Africa still
It
exists.
is. It's there. It's
How
there. Last year,
bato?
I remember, I think they were having some, whether it was a competition of some sort, because I did apply.
Yo, okay, no, dude.
But it's there. But it's
Okay.
still there. Yeah.
So now somebody at This Is Africa got pegged onto me
Mm-hmm.
and was like, right, right, right. And by this time, I'd safe space. So I'd gone through like when my whole career plans to be an NGO baby like fell apart. I went into a bit of a depression, right? Like I was like high key depressed. My partner's having to like put me in the shower because I am bathing. It was terrible. It was so terrible. I hated everyone and everything. And a friend from Ghana
Mm-hmm.
who runs Adventures from the Bedrooms of African Women, Nana. So yeah, no, you
Okay.
see, came
Mm-hmm.
and like took me for drinks and was like, get your head out of your butt, right? And just you need to write and you need to write for adventures. And by this time, I'd written a couple of articles for other people, but then
Mm-hmm.
I was writing for adventures from the bedrooms of African women, where I started writing more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just seemed to be like a brand. It literally
Okay,
became its
I
own
hear
brand.
you. I hear you. Oh wow. And okay, so when you're writing about sex, are you writing from experience? Are you writing from? Are you reading? Where are you getting this? How do you write about something? Um, are you experiencing it? Are you hearing other people's stories?
So
Are you? Yeah.
okay, so and I love that everyone's always like wanting to ask, are you having the sex you're writing about?
Yes.
I am terrible. 9 times out of 10, I'm not, right? I'm not having the sex that I write about, but I have a lot of conversations, and then I do a lot of subsequent research, and
Okay.
that's why like it got to a point where I could write a book,
Mm-hmm.
because rather than writing from experience, from experience, a lot of like sex writers tend to actually not do that,
Yes.
right? Like, there's the odd person who blogs. Like, there's this one woman called My Tiny Secrets, and she has a vlog. And clearly, the whole vlog is just, it spews from her vagina, right? I don't know if can I say this?
Yes, you can
Okay,
say it.
so the whole blog clearly spews from her vagina. Every vlog is me and Stefan. We found
Oh
another,
my
like, so
word.
we get it.
Okay.
It is
Okay. Okay.
but like with a lot of sex writers, you'll find that they have to do a lot of the research,
Okay.
because a lot of that information is not out there, and
Yeah.
even like the way people describe their sex and have the sex, it's not always that intentional.
Yes.
So now, if you're going to get to a point where you are writing about sex in an almost educational way, it can't just be like, yeah, so last night, that's cool,
Okay.
but we can't all be Carrie from Sex in the City, guys.
Ex-
Like,
oh
Honey was
yes.
not
Oh
giving us good
yes. Oh
advice.
yes. No, she wasn't. She was
She
not.
wasn't, but it's not her fault.
Yeah.
It was like 2001, so respect her, please.
Okay. So I think for me, being African,
Mhm.
okay, I think we kind of like um try to avoid talking about sex
Okay.
at all costs.
Hmm.
Because I remember when I was growing up, it's like they people are kissing. I'm watching with my parents, and then people are kissing. It's like, oh my
Yeah, you
gosh, you
want to
don't know
die a
whether you,
slow death.
what do I do? Do I stand up? Do I and it becomes the longest scene ever. You
Yeah,
don't even know what to do with
it is the
yourself.
longest 10
And
seconds of your entire life.
so for me, how do you did you ever have that with your uncles and everything? And how did you navigate? Did you also just like trying to hide, or you stood up, or you or you'll be like, hey, get out of here?
I was always told to cover my eyes, standard, and then I'd cover my eyes badly, and then it would become a whole drama because I'm not covering my eyes nicely, and just it was just like it was too much. Hey, like I remember just that stress was too much, and like I think that's part of the reason I also grew up like personally, and like a lot of us grew up with being really shy about sex, because you
Exactly.
could feel everyone in the room panic attack, like everyone is just panicked.
It's
What must we do? The child is looking, and all they're doing is kissing.
it's kissing.
Like no one was doing the reverse cowgirl, no one was
Sure,
getting head, no one was eating
sure.
ass. Like, can we all calm down? But yo, everyone has panicked. Cover the children, make the children leave. Next thing you know,
Exactly.
you've been told to go to bed at 6 p.m. What are you supposed to do with that
Dude,
content?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But now it seems like we are kind of like getting there. And I know some African cultures, because I know in Zambia they
Mhm.
do train young girls on the art of sex. Like
Why
it,
do they not train young boys as well? What are they bringing? I'm just saying.
I don't
This is
know.
a question from me to you.
No, no, but you are right. But I do know that when you're older, so because I got married into a Zambian man.
Okay.
So because I wasn't trained, because I'm from Zim, and in Zim is just like, why are you talking about it? Because even on your kitchen party, your bridal shower,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't even talk about sex. It's like everyone is tittering around it, like,
No,
oh
that's
my
the
gosh, oh
same
my
in
gosh.
Kenya. People are just like, you know what? Stay on your knees in prayer. Yeah.
Fast and pray,
Fast and
you
pray.
know, everything will be fine. Like that's literally how it is.
Hmm.
Because I remember, so the bridal shower in Zim is totally different from the one that's in Zambia. So for
Hmm.
me, it was a culture shock. And I was just like, these women, and they're just doing the most, like they're doing the most.
Uh-huh.
But they do train the husbands as well.
Okay.
Because I remember a funny story that
Oh,
I
I thought you were about to drop some tea about your sex life. I was like,
what?
sis,
No way.
it's that podcast.
No, no, no. So I remember there's a friend of mine who was telling me that she went for the training,
Okay. Hmm.
but her husband didn't go for the training.
Uh-huh.
So now I think for different cultures they've got different positions. So some of them they do the upside down, the other ones are doing this. And she went through the whole process. It was 3 months and everything. But then because the husband wasn't taught, it was a nightmare because now she's trying to do this and he doesn't know what to do. And he's like, you know what, just stick to what we know, what we know. And she was like, it
What
was
he came in
it
with.
was, you know. So men are in some instances they are taught, so you are in sync when
Mm-hmm.
you're doing the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when is the right time to speak to kids about sex though?
I think, like, because I don't have kids, right? So, like, I'm out here just like spewing
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
I
yeah.
need to spew. But, like, I know there's people who do the work, and from the conversations I've had with them, it's a case of like from when you can start seeing that they're like being exposed to different things, or like, I was given the example of if your child is like humping something, right? Or like holding their penis or whatever. Like those are the times when you like don't come and be like, this is the reverse cowgirl, but be like, do you understand why it's okay to hold your penis but not in public, right?
Yeah.
So taking the shame out of it. And I think it's one of those things, like kids will be receptive to it at different spaces at different times.
Mhm.
That is a whole body of work that's currently coming up, right? Because it is so contentious. Like anytime somebody's like, talk to your children about sex, like even teens,
Yeah.
like now, by the time, let's not lie, even when we were young, by the time we were teenagers, it was a little too late for my mom to start coming and saying things. I'm like, I've
I
read
already know.
Cosmo, like I found the porn under your bed. Don't act like you don't know, sis. Like, don't make this embarrassing for everyone, okay? But like, so now I think it's, and especially because kids are being exposed to sex younger and younger,
Hmm.
like parents have to be more proactive. They
Exactly.
really, 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 really must. And like also the constant like fear that they'll see something,
Hmm.
that's also really detrimental.
Okay, you're listening to I Love Melville Live. It's time for a commercial break.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to
Hey,
the Grumpy Old Homo Show.
yeah, and we are in Pride Month.
We are in Pride Month, and tonight
celebrating queers and
Queers,
all that
queers.
is queer.
So we're doing a fundraiser on the 29th of October. Kindly hosted by I Love Melville Live, and there's sponsored food and drink.
Entertainment.
We've got the Avalon Quartet. We've got the Mamas.
Lilo's going to perform.
And Robert Whitehead. Patsy City, I tell you. There was everybody everywhere.
He's secure. Um, Welcome back to the revival right here on I Love Melville Live. We are on all social media pages. It's I Love Melville Live on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Please send your love and likes to us. I have Tiffany in studio today, and we are talking all things sex, and she's got a book. It's called Quirky Quick Guide to Having Great Sex, and it's for adults only. So kids, stay away from this book. So Tiffany, I wanted to ask you. I know, like I was saying, in Africa, we kind of like teeter around it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like women are not allowed to, or in most women are not expected to enjoy the act. Like you're supposed to just do it because you're pleasing your man.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm talking like when they do genital mutilation,
Oof,
like what,
Jesus.
so for me, how how did you come to that space where you're like, let's celebrate this? It's sexuality. It's a great. It's an enjoyable. It's supposed to be enjoyable for both
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah.
So how did you come to that decision to say, you know what? Let me celebrate. Let me write about it, and let me let my other female colleagues and other females just celebrate their bodies, celebrate everything to do with sex and doing different things, using different methods,
Mhm.
not faking orgasms and everything.
Mhm.
How did you, what is it? Did you speak to a lot of women and you heard this? Or how did
I
you
have
come
a
to that?
very simple answer for you.
Yes.
I was not straight.
Okay.
That is the easiest way to celebrate
Okay.
sex.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
look,
Okay.
no tea, no shade.
Mm-hmm.
But like, once you take out the very dominant nature of the penis,
Yeah.
then you start having to like reconceptualize what sex is, and you have
Okay.
to start reconceptualizing like what pleasure is and what that general vibe is, and you'll actually find like a lot of the people I engage with in the sex positive realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the women are actually not straight. Like, so I myself am bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's almost like your mind just gets cracked open and you're like, oh, okay. So what does this whole sex thing mean once you take out the penis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it just became a case of, and weirdly enough, a lot of my work focuses on heterosexual like spaces and
Spaces. Okay.
coupling and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
because I then like, I guess it was quote unquote from a place of privilege, right?
Mm-hmm.
Started being like, what are the straights doing? How are they doing it? Why are they so bad at this? This is terrible. I will save you. So that is it, literally the framework I came from. And yeah, so like it just started being like, because if you look at a lot of the articles I've written, like one of my favorite ones that I've written about is pegging.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what pegging
No,
is?
tell me.
Okay, so pegging is when a heterosexual woman and a heterosexual man engage in anal sex, but the woman penetrates the man using a strap on. So it has to be those parameters, right? And like
Jesus.
so like, and I remember I wrote about that, and like my editor was like, yes, like he's like a straight man, and he's like, yes, he was telling people things, and every time like I mention it around heterosexual men, they want to die, and I'm like, but you're missing out on a whole thing. And because it's like that whole exploration of like, you are not your sex act. So like a lot of heterosexual men were like, yeah, they do like a finger in the butt, but they don't want to tell anyone because it makes them gay. And you're
Yes.
just
Okay.
like,
I hear you.
oh, why are you like this?
Yeah, people. I think a lot of times we put we're the ones who box ourselves into certain. We put ourselves in certain boxes, and you're assuming that the next person doesn't will judge you in a
Mm-hmm.
certain way. We're so
Mm-hmm.
afraid of being judged, and I think especially with women, I know I've had conversations with some friends of mine as well. Like we're at the book club, or I'm sitting with my friends, or even at work.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard women saying they would rather let the man be the one who's introducing new things, because they're like, if that happens, then the guy's like, where did you get that from?
Where did
You
you
know?
get that from?
Exactly.
Like,
So for me, I always feel like when it comes to sex, women, it's a narrative that's changing.
mm-hmm,
But I think for the longest time, women who love sex
mm-hmm,
are looked in a certain way. Like it's like, this one, she loves it. Because I remember I also listened to something where the guy left his wife because he's like, I this woman every night I can't do it. I can't. Then she's
I'm
like,
tired.
and for me, it's like, why if it's a man who's doing it, it's like, go back to your husband, go back. But
Yeah.
if it's a woman, even the aunts who come in will be like, this one, the blood,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like praying. It's like
Holy
praying,
Ghost fire.
they're like praying for you, and they're like making it seem like women are not allowed to enjoy it
Yeah.
just as much as men do. Women are not allowed to celebrate it. Women are, because I know there's another thing that freaked me out, because I was listening to, it was a documentary where I don't remember which country it is, where so the men were forcing their wives to use certain detergents in their on their vagina so that they become dry.
It's here, Zambia.
So that they
It's
become
like the
dry.
Southern African. Yeah. So it's like
Yes.
coke, bleach, sand. Here, weirdly enough, here in like peri-urban and urban areas, sand was a big thing, and not like in
No,
1964.
no,
It was
no.
like 2000 and
Hold
something.
up, hold up. What do you mean
Sand,
sand?
sand,
You put it.
sand
Oh my
for
gosh.
the beach. Hey, sand,
For,
because then it made it, apparently it dried you out,
yes.
and it made it like,
The
because the men wanted
friction,
the
the
friction and the
friction.
roughness. Oh,
Because I remember the doctor was
it's very
saying, but
stressful.
that becomes very uncomfortable for the woman, and now she's having countless headaches, and you're like wondering why.
And you're shook, and you're shook. And like, even because with that whole thing, because all of that stuff that dried you out, so even if you're wearing a condom, like it increased the likelihood of the condom tearing, because what keeps a condom like intact is like the lube that the thing comes in, and then that's why you should also put just a drop of lube when you're putting on your condom. Like,
Mm,
fam, like it's 2020. Like, we've all been through COVID now. We
yeah,
need to respect each other now. Like,
sure.
it's exhausting. So like it's a lot of these conversations that I had, and like even like I remember years ago I was in university, whole university students, and we're out here and we're young and we're wild and we're free, and we were coming back from our wine sock.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because we joined wine sock. You see, that's how classy we were. We joined wine society, and we
Yes.
come back all toasty and like a little bit sloshed, and we were having this conversation about sex. And I remember it was me, my partner, and our three friends. They're all straight,
Mhm.
right? And they started having this whole huge conversation about how sex is for men. I'm like, whole university students. Also, y'all out here trying to get yours. I live with one of you, so I know you orgasm. But she's like, so I was like, but then what are all those orgasms? Oh, she's like, those are lucky breaks. I'm like, how?
Lucky breaks.
I'm like, lucky
Yeah,
breaks. Like, no, we're exhausted right now, both of us.
yeah, yeah. And it's a sad reality. It is the sad reality, because if you think of, like what I was saying, like genital mutilation, it's just so that the woman is not enjoying it. But like, why are you enjoying it? Like, what is it? What is it? You're not supposed to be enjoying it. You're
That's
supposed to
so
just lie
wild.
there, and he does his thing. After that, she looks the other way, I guess.
I
Yeah.
don't even like. I don't like FGM. There's people who that's their career. I was just like, woo, guys.
Okay, so I want to find out. So when you've been writing about sex,
Uh-huh.
and I remember, I think you did mention it before. Do people look at you in a certain way, like they're just like, "Oh, this fun."
People have calmed down. So initially, when I did start writing about sex, and I think also maybe the way I talk about it has changed.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first started talking about it and writing about it, people were like, they were all hyped up. People would ask me out. People would ask my partner how they
Because
can
we're
date
just like,
me. Actually, no, people didn't ask me out. Ooh, let me not flex like that. People asked me to go to bed with them. Like, so I'd be at a conference, and because some of the work I do, the platform that I run has
mm-hmm.
like a lot of visual stuff, right?
Yes.
And every time I want to shock and awe, I've stopped doing that now. But every time I wanted to shock and awe, I'd always have like the pictures that we take and the pictures that we put up on our Instagram and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? And people would be like, yo, lit, right? And then afterwards, people would just come and be like, so what are you doing tonight? I'd be like, what? It's like, yeah, what are you doing tonight? And please know my partner's standing right there. And like, whenever I'm on a panel and my partner's there, I'm that excitable person
Yeah.
who's like, look, my baby's here, right? So you all know I'm not single. But like with their chest, but like the older I've gotten, the more people have been less like, oh, sliding into the DMs and
Okay.
more actually asking for advice. And that's actually part of the reason I wrote the book.
Okay.
Um, because it just got to a point where like I'd get the most random questions from family members, from randoms. Like some of my greatest moments are when I am with like my big sister here,
Uh-huh.
right? So like I call her my big sister because we like grew up together. But like so she has a whole Kenyan community here. And it's like all husbands and wives and stuff. And like they'll find out what I do and they'll ask like proper questions. Like no one's trying to slide into the DMs, no one's anything. Even like when we get really drunk, they'll be like, yeah, no, but can you just explain why in 2019 eating ass became such a, and like they're asking with their chest. So I think it's gotten better, it's
Uh-huh.
evened out. And I guess maybe it's the older I get, the more gravitas I have.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a young spring chicken, like who just looks like they're trying to get attention by talking about sex. Yeah, it's gotten better.
And have you? I know you've done a TED talk, yeah. But have you been? I know. So when people are having their bridal showers, because now I think bridal showers have become more about trying to help each other with new positions. We advise each other like that. Have you had people calling you to say, Tiffany, can we pay you to come to our bridal shower?
No, but now I want to secure that bag.
You know, I
Right?
swear people are making money doing that. I
What?
don't even know why. I'm actually thinking about it like, why aren't you making money, child?
Like, because weirdly enough, there's something so weird about my career that feels so covert.
Uh-huh.
Because like even like I can understand how so many people will be like, but where did you come from? Why do you feel you can write this book? Like I was asked that once. Like, why do you feel you can? I'm like, because I've been doing this for 10 years. And they're
Yeah.
like, where? And I'm like, I don't understand. Like this, and it's almost like the people who need to know me,
Yeah.
and everyone else is just like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's fine." But like, no, I think I might secure that bag. I think when I secure the degree and I become like a proper
Proper psych-
psychosocial therapist and
Mhm.
stuff, that might be something that's fun to do, to like have those conversations and then
Yes.
get like that like demonstrative element in, and like I can work with the Magic Mike boys. Have you been to see the Magic Mike show here?
No.
Oh sis.
Are you
Oh
serious? Is
god.
it? Am I missing out?
Oh yes. But like now with this in the year of our COVID, maybe not. But like
But you spoke about family now,
Mhm.
right? And how does do people, members of your family look at you like, "She's this one?" Like, oh,
I am the neon sheep of the family. I wouldn't say I'm the black sheep,
mm-hmm.
right? I'm like neon and black striped, so it's colorful, but also difficult to look away.
Yeah.
But also, I am the black sheep. Like people just, it got to a point where, in a lot of ways, my family have just let me be, right? So from my sexuality to ask me, like no one asks me when I'm bringing home a dude. Like everyone is always being asked, "Where's the man? Where's the man? Where's the man?" Me people are just like, "Whoop, whoop." There's nothing here, right? And so like it's just that like really it's just like that really strange engagement my family have with
Yeah.
my work, with my life, where they're very proud. So like everyone was super proud of the TED Talks. So at one point, because in like 2 years I did like two TED Talks,
Yes.
they didn't know what I did, but they were just like, she does TED Talks. And it's almost like everyone just accepted that. And then like now I guess it's like she's the author.
Yeah.
No one's gonna say what the book is about, but they're like, she's
She
the
wrote
author.
a book.
Don't worry. Like they're like, just do you, ma. We're so proud. Like my uncles will get drunk at like Christmas and be like, we're very proud of you.
Proud of you, man.
They're like, about what, Uncle Mike? We're proud. Just leave it.
Oh wow. And if you were not a writer,
Hmm.
writing about sex,
Hmm.
what do you think you would have been?
If my life had panned out, I would be a corporate lawyer right now. I would be so
A
rich.
whole lawyer.
Oh, I'd be so rich. Like a corporate lawyer. Not just a lawyer in general. Corporate. I'd be that one of those with Manolo Blahniks, a bad attitude, and probably a woman on the side. I'd be married to a man, but I'd definitely have a woman on the side, 100%. Living in the Michelangelo Towers. Yes. Don't worry, I have my alternate life plan.
I
You
can
thought that
see. I
question's
can
gonna
see.
throw me?
I can see that. Haha.
Don't worry, it's
It's
sorted.
there. And right now, what does your 9 to 5 look like?
Oh, a lot of Netflix. It's so wild owning your own time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like a lot of time was put aside for school, and I slowed down like a lot of my consultancies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up having a lot more free time on my hands than I thought, because I ended up being a lot better at school than I thought. So like these like essays that they're giving us 3 weeks to write like 5,000 words. You're like, but guys, 3 weeks. Why do I need 3 weeks to write five? Like that's like an afternoon's worth of
Yeah,
sitting down.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like that
yeah, yeah.
writer game. So like my 9 to 5 is I wake up, I do my pole dancing exercises. Then I make a cup of tea or lemon water. Then there's like a few hours of like replying emails
Mm-hmm.
and like, whatever like project that I'm working on, just doing the general admin for that. But by like, oof, one every day, my day is done. And then there's just a lot of Netflix and a lot of chilling.
And
And yeah.
what are you watching on Netflix?
Oh, everything. I'm terrible. Do not ever ask for Netflix recommendations for me, because I will watch anything that's moving. It's a mess. So right now I am watching a French show called Call My Agent. I
Okay.
really love it. It's in French. And now all I want to do every time someone says something to me is go voila,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Because I'm a sophisticated item.
Yes.
What else am I watching on Netflix? I watch a lot of cartoons. Yeah, a lot of cartoons, a lot of random comedies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and then like my partner watches a lot of anime. So I watch a
I
lot of
don't.
anime over their shoulder.
I don't get it. I don't get
Anime
that
is kind of
anime.
cool. Like it's intense though. It's
I don't.
really intense.
I really don't get it. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Like
Maybe
what
I'm
is
too
it? Is it the
old.
cartoon element? Is it
Not
the
even. I
storylines?
think for me, I don't know.
It's just not your
It's
jive.
just not my thing. Because I like horror.
Oof, no.
Yeah, that's me. So, because I'm asking, because I'm like, are you watching, the no under 18s, the films, or are you
No, I'm
just
watching
watching
everything.
everything, whatever
Everything.
tickles your fancy at that
Yeah,
point?
I'm one of those people who I'll be scrolling by mistake and then oh yes, another thing that I was watching, I've watched the entire series again, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love that show. Have you watched it?
No.
So hilarious.
Oh,
Like and especially and it's a weirdly it's still weirdly relevant and non-problematic in a like Black Lives Matter,
kind of way.
anti-police sort of like
Mm-hmm.
world. But even though it came out like years ago, like they're talking about police brutality and this and that, like they're ready. So I literally just watch a lot of everything. I did go through that phase where, especially when I was writing the book, I was reading a lot. I was watching a lot of like documentaries about sex.
Okay.
Um, like there's the one by Christian Amanpour. I think it's called Sex Around the World. That's a really
Okay.
good one. Like, no, it's a really, really good
Oh,
one.
so it's just the way people
Yeah, like the way people engage with sex in
sex
like
and
different parts of the globe. And yeah, so like they go to, I think they go to India, they go to Hong Kong, they go to Ghana. Yeah, they go to a whole bunch of different places, and it's like a mini series. It's like those limited
okay,
series type
okay,
thing. So it's like very above like thingy. And then I watched a lot of ones about women in the porn industry. It's
okay.
also very interesting.
Oh wow.
People secure the bag, but then also it's kind of problematic. But then
It
also people
is.
secure the
I,
black.
I get I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. Oh wow. So there's a lot of research that goes, because for me I was like, yo, this girl, she must be doing a lot of
Oh
work.
my
And
gosh! You
I
see, that's the
said,
thing. That's also the really stressful thing. So this person who I just went through a thing with would always was clearly way more sexual than me, right?
uh-huh.
Like way more sexual, and like the things they used to like yo texting was lit. But anyway, so the things they used to text me, even me, I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then they'd say stuff like, so they'd be like clearly the more sexually dominant one, because that's
Yeah.
one thing I can pick up very clearly when
Okay.
somebody's more sexually dominant than me. And then all of a sudden they'd be like, yeah, so I was reading your book today, so I guess you're gonna be the one teaching me things. And I was like, oh, honey, sugar, no, 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 no. It's like, yeah,
Calm
you're the sex
down.
teacher, you're the sex goddess, and I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Like, no, don't
Just calm
don't
down.
stress me.
But I can understand where she's coming from,
Yeah,
because yeah, I think the perception is, if you're writing about it, you
you
must
must
know,
know all
and you're
the
doing
things.
magic, you're doing the
You're
most.
doing the most.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like, and especially if you look at, like, once you read the book, you'll see that there's no way I can do all of those things. Like, not because they're so like far and wide apart, but like because like just there's just some things that are just also some
yeah,
things are not my
yeah,
jive,
yeah.
right? Like some things are not my vibe. Um, like it's only now I've started like reshifting to like looking at different things that I've written about, right?
Yeah,
And being like, okay, cool. Like, actually, I think I could try this. I think this could be a vibe. But like, a lot of it is about having conversations, doing the research, finding out what like people are like thinking and feeling, and yeah. So like, it's a lot of research, and I think
sure.
anyone who wants to get into this realm and thinks that it's just like you're just boinking your way to like a novel,
Uh-huh.
you're not. You're really not. Like even people who write sex scenes, like they'll do the research about them. Like even if
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
sex scene you've
I
written,
hear you. I hear you.
writing about sex and speaking about sex is a lot more different. A lot more different. That is a terrible sentence. A lot different to actually experiencing sex,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to take it out of the physical and make it understandable to somebody who is not actively experiencing it at
Yes,
that
yes,
moment in
yes,
time.
yes, definitely. And
Mm.
how has your book been received
I love the
since
way
it was?
everyone always asks me this. Like so far, it's been like really
Everyone is
cool.
like, oh my gosh, this book.
Like yeah, no, it's been really positive. Like I haven't had anyone trolling me. I've only had like that really cute Instagram, Twitter thing where whenever somebody buys it, they tag me and they're like,
Oh,
"Oh, I'm reading this. I keep picking it up." Like there's a group I'm in of like women from around the continent
mm-hmm.
who somebody was like, "Yeah, Tiff, I got your book," and somebody else was like, "Oh my gosh, the author of this book is in this group."
Yes.
No, no, and then they were talking about how like they'll randomly pick up and read random chapters and brush up on random knowledge. And I was like, that is exactly what you're supposed to do. Like, this is not the sort of book. I would be very surprised if somebody came to me and they're like, oh, I read it all in one sitting. And I'm like, for what?
Yeah,
like, for
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah. I get you. Yeah,
Like,
it's not
no one reads the whole dictionary in one sitting.
in
Take
one
what you need, sis.
for that. Yeah, yeah. This book right here, and then so COVID. Yeah, let's
Ugh.
speak about COVID. How did you manage to just keep yourself sane? And did you run out of wine, by the way? Because
Fam,
yo
why would you take me back?
yo
Why would, like, yo? So COVID was deep. I think actually no, COVID generally was actually quite cool. I just had pockets of deep anxiety around work.
mm-hmm.
Especially when this one dropped. Like when the book dropped, it was like smack bang in the middle of COVID.
Yes,
Because I think we went into lockdown in like what, March,
yes,
right? So March, April, my book came out in June. I was like, what is going on? By
yeah,
that time, and the sad thing is it didn't come out during that time when everybody was like getting really freaky because all the bookstores were closed anyway,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so like there's times when I am really like, ugh, because I feel like I missed that window where everyone was hypersexual
Yes,
during COVID.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
I came out at that time when people were like, ugh, stop it, get off me. I will kill you. I will kill you if you come near me again. But like other than that, other than like, like a couple of weeks of like career angst, like me and my partner had a lot of fun. Like that was one of the things we joked about. COVID was actually really, really fun.
Okay.
There's one time where for a week we made a fort, and we made a fort in the living room and we lived in that fort. Whole
Oh
adults. No, no,
wow!
no,
Are
no,
you
no.
serious?
30
Are
plus
you?
age. And we made a fort and we
You
put
stayed
pillows
in.
and this, and we just watched TV under there. And like I remember one night I got so drunk in that fort I couldn't get to bed. So I
So
just
you could
slept in
even
the fort.
afford to get drunk. Oh my god! So you
No,
were
no,
well stocked.
it's cause I joined a wine of the month club like years ago. So just before COVID, they were like, okay, fam, things are gonna get lit.
Get
We're dropping you 2 boxes. Hey,
okay.
hey.
Okay, so you were sorted.
I was so sorted.
Oh
And
my
then at some point,
gosh.
I was like, I'm not drinking wine anymore. I'm bringing myself to myself. I just need good energies. Okay. So I
I
stopped
want
drinking
to.
wine for like 2
My
weeks.
chakras
I
need
was like,
to.
my chakras need to be aligned. I'm not drinking wine. I don't need this.
Oh wow! Yeah. Yo,
Did
so
you run out of wine?
I did. Yo, it was the worst thing ever. I even found myself buying the non-alcoholic wine, and
Just to feel alive
yo,
again, just to feel
and I
something.
remember the day that I found the like it would run out, and I was like, "Is it that good?" But when I tasted it, I was like, "Yo, I'd just rather be drinking water. Like, just drink the water. Just drink the water. Like, maybe let's do some Fiji water or something. Maybe
That
it'll
is so
taste
wild.
better." I'm telling you, it was so bad. But you know what? Those are the days. I don't want to go back there. I'm always stoked up now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I'm
no.
not.
People. I feel like people have the same reaction to liquor that people during the war had to food,
Food.
right? Like where, like you've heard about like those like war veterans who stock cans,
Yes.
like people who lived during like World War. Yeah, now people like stock with liquor,
On
where they're like you
Fridays.
don't want to get caught slipping,
On Fridays,
fam,
it's like
because we
everyone.
don't know what Cyril's gonna say.
Sure.
Because Cyril likes to tell us things on Sunday, and
And it's
Monday it's
like,
implemented.
yes,
There's nothing.
it's like effective from right now,
Right
right
now, as I
now,
speak, do you hear me
right now.
now? Hey, Cyril.
So deal, so deal. And do you read a lot?
I hate being asked this question. I could read more. I could read more. I was actually thinking about it the other day. How the amount that I read over the last like 2 years
Mhm.
has dropped exponentially, right? So you remember we used to be in the same WhatsApp group,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Like,
yes.
and y'all would be like, "Hey, fam, this book has dropped. Oh, I read this whole book. Ah, lol, this book was trash. This book was." I used to just sit there stressed. I'd be like, "Yeah, no, I haven't read anything. I listen to a lot of podcasts. So maybe I'm in the wrong career.
I
I
know.
just like
Yeah, because I'm also into these. Sometimes I do the audiobooks. So I'm just like,
audiobooks, but like, okay, so I have a question, right? As a whole, like, watcher and like person in the lit realm. So is it so bad to be listening to audiobooks though? Is it so bad? Is it not the same WhatsApp group? Are you not getting the same flavor? Like, what is the vibe?
you are, because for me, I think it's quicker. It's someone else doing all the voices for me. But I think there's something that I miss. I
Okay.
won't lie. There's something that I miss because for me, I like flipping the pages.
Oh yeah, no,
I
the
do.
actual physical
Yes, I
holding
do
the
like.
book
So
is
I
really
don't do ebooks. I don't. So if it's not the actual book, I'd rather listen than to read it on my. I
yeah,
will
yeah, no,
not do
that's
that.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will not do that. But yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with.
Cause like what are we because the question is what are we getting from reading? Is it aren't we getting the story? I understand that there is a skill to reading,
Yes.
right? So I guess we're also brushing up on the skills, and especially as a writer, it's best to see it physically manifest, like
Yeah.
sentence structure and like, whatever it is we like to the tools of our trade type thing. So I guess it is best.
Yeah.
But like also like I really like people reading to me. It's so nice.
It is. It is. So just before we wrap up, I just want to ask you one question. If you were to listen to a song, to one song,
Mhm.
and listen to it for the very first time all over again, what song will it be?
Why would you ask something like
I
that?
don't.
That's so hard.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It is so
You've
hard.
got your.
Like no, I like now because now I've suddenly forgotten every song I've ever
I
heard in
know
my
how
life
it's.
except Pure Imagination by the Glee class, the Glee cast. You know Glee, the show,
Yeah.
the
Oh
cast.
yes, 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 yes,
You
yes.
know, so they do those remixes and things. The only song I can think of right now is Pure Imagination, which is also the soundtrack to the Willy Wonka film.
Yes,
I got
yes.
nothing else. You see now, man, I don't look cool now. I wish I'd come up with something like her or like Chance the Rapper or something. I don't know. What are the kids listening to?
I don't know.
Neither do
Yeah,
I.
I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not part of the cool kids. Um. So thank you so much. That is the end of the revival celebrates with Tiffany Mugo. So right after the break, we are going to the next section, which is radio theater. Stay tuned.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Homo Show.
Yeah, and we are in Pride Month.
We are in Pride Month, and tonight
Celebrating queers.
Queers,
And all that
queers.
is queer.
So we're doing a fundraiser on the 29th of October. Currently hosted by ilovemelville.live, and there's sponsored food and drink.
Entertainment.
We've got the Avalon Quartet. We've got the Mamas.
Lilo's going to perform.
And Robert Whitehead. Patsy City, I tell you. There was everybody everywhere.
You're like a straight woman. Oh.
And we're back. The time is 8 o'clock, and you're live on ilovemelville.live. It's the revival show. My name is Makanaka, and in studio, I'm joined by Tiffany Kagure Mugo. And we were just having a very nice conversation. If you've missed it, well, you can always check it out on YouTube or Facebook, ilovemelville.live, on Instagram, ilovemelville.live. Same with Twitter. Right now, we're moving on to the next segment, which is radio theater. And for those of you who are just joining us today, we are continuing with the story from yesterday. So I'll just give you a quick summary of what happened yesterday. So we've got Chipo and Richard who woke up in each other's bodies. So now they have to experience life in each other's bodies and life in each other's lives, I guess. So right now they are at the salon. Richard has just arrived at the salon. So I am going to be Richard and you are going to be Chipo.
Ish, okay, all right.
So in the salon, can you be Charity as well?
What, fam? What? Because just quick swaps. Like, do I look like what was that guy who played everyone? Tyler Perry to you. Anyway, it's fine.
That's
So I'm Charity.
created by, produced. Anyway.
Okay.
So Richard walks slowly into the salon.
Girl, what's with the head wrap?
Well, takes off the head wrap and Charity shrieks.
What did you do? I told you not to take it for at least 2 weeks, not to wash it for at least 2 weeks.
It's my husband. He. What happened?
Wait. Where am I? Where am
We're
I?
on 17. Okay, they on
Oh.
18. Yeah. Next
Oh,
page.
on 18.
Yes.
Okay, no, I understand. Okay, ish. Am I not surprised? That guy wouldn't let you be great. What did he do this time?
I mean, I forgot to wear the shower thingy when I got into the bathtub.
So you are to blame. Tis, tis, tis. Take a seat. Where are you guys bathing? Were you guys bathing together?
Well, not really, but I wish.
Well, things will work out for you if you just try the vibrating ring.
What vibrating ring?
The one I was telling you about last time. The one that will make his magic stick vibrate like
Where did you say I can find it again? Charity reaches in her bag and takes out a small box.
ta-da! A girl gotta stay ready.
Wow.
This thing will turn him into a beast, and I swear you will be out here calling him every 5 seconds, even following him at his work to get some.
You don't say.
Oh, and I have the 2 pairs of shoes you ordered.
Oh yeah, those.
How did you manage to slip in the other shoes? I mean, your husband is not as woke as he looks. Doesn't he notice the new shoes?
Well, I don't think so.
You you awfully quiet today. What's going on?
Nothing, my dear. Just want to get some this hair fixed and get my nails painted and the eyebrow thingy.
I thought you would never ask. I thought you would never ask because you're looking like an animal with that bush on your face. Okay, let's get started. So I should condition and fix this mess you made.
Yeah, I need you to cut it a bit.
Cut? Since when?
Since today.
Are you sure? I mean, girl, you will be wasting these inches.
Just want to change things up a bit. Scene 6. Chippo walks into Richard's office. She walks with her head slightly looking down to avoid people approaching her. So you're Chippo, right?
Oh, I'm Chivo.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Is it the looks terrified? Wait. Oh no, wait.
Flip the
Yes.
page.
Yes. Um
Hey, Richard, wait up.
fuck, what's his name?
Farai runs to catch up with him and stretches out his hand and does a funny hand gesture, which is their secret handshake, but Chippo doesn't know it. He's holding a set of keys with a tag written Titch.
And
And then
what?
our handshake.
Sorry man, I'm just
Carol approaches. There comes that little snack of a PA of yours. And you, sir, I know you will tap that ass. And when you do, which from the look of things will be sooner rather than later, you have to pay me my dues. Chipo is shook but tries to keep herself composed. Morning. Morning to you too, Carol. Dude, I'll catch up with you later. And I'm sure you will have some good news for me. Farai walks away laughing. What was that about?
well, Titch, always talking nonsense.
That's Farai.
Yes, of course, for I don't know where my mind is.
I've put everything together on your desk. Should I bring you your usual?
What's my usual?
Carol looks at Chipo suspiciously. You know what? You know what brings me
You know what? Bring me a
oh
cup
yeah.
of coffee with milk and 2 sugars.
Coffee with milk and sugar? Are you sure?
You know what? Forget it. Let me authorize the payments.
Sir, it's that way. You moved offices, remember?
Of course.
Chipo follows Carol. They enter the office and Carol hands him the list that needs authorization. I'm going to fill in your leave form and I will bring it to you. Can you sign it?
Oh yeah, thanks. That will be great.
Carol closes the door, then pulls the front zip of her dress down, revealing her cleavage. Okay. Is there anything else you want from me? Chipo, who was looking at the computer screen, looks up.
Oh shit. No, maybe you can bring me that cup of coffee after all. Make it really strong.
That's all? Is that all?
Oh, 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 you're not going to. Oh, oh no, not that.
Okay,
Okay, so
okay, so
yes, that's all.
Is there anything wrong? I'm wearing your favorite dress.
What?
The other day, Farai told me that this dress, you told me you like this dress and that I should wear it more often.
Yeah, but
But what? Have you changed your mind?
no, but I.
You know what? I won't rush you, but remember that you can always let me know if you need anything else. Anything.
That coffee will do for now, thanks.
Coming up, she pulls up her zip, opens the door, and walks out.
Oh wow, You again.
looking down at her erect penis. Evolution Saloon midday. Chipo, who is now done in the office, walks into the hair salon. She looks around and can't seem to see where Richard is. He walks up to where Charity is standing doing a client's hair. She gasps.
Richard, what did you do?
Charity and other people in the hair salon look at her. Who is him? Or look at her, who is him? Surprised. Richard, who is on the seat, jumps in. Babe, hey, do you like it? A visibly shook, Chipo composes herself.
Uh, what did you do? Why did you cut your hair like that?
I asked her the same thing, but a woman wants what a woman wants. I'm not done. So when I'm done, I'm sure you will love it too. I think it will suit her.
I'm sure it will.
What do you mean we're not done? I mean, I've been here for over 2 hours already, and it looks okay to me.
Girl, you know I don't do okay. I do absolutely bedazzling, so sit tight. Remember, you still need to pick your nail color and we need to do those brows.
Smiling slyly.
Yes, honey, we need to sit tight because you at my mother's this weekend and you need to look great.
Damn it.
What nail color are you going for?
I want this one, pointing at a bright orange, whispering to Richard's ear.
It's bad enough that you ruined my hair. Why would you pick such a hideous color?
Well, I love it, honey.
I swear I'm going to make you pay.
The worst you can do is cut my hair, for which I'm absolutely okay with it.
Really now?
Yep.
Let the games begin. I'll be back in 2 hours.
What?
Make it 3.
No.
See you later, honey.
Chipo walks out. Richard's car. What the fuck did you do? I mean, where did you even get that done? Who in their right mind colors their beard purple and gray?
Well, it's called Grandpa Bay Reloaded, and you know what? I think it actually looks good on me.
You mean me?
Oh, and this is not even half of it.
What do you mean?
You will see.
You know what? I'm going to simply chop the beard off and regrow it.
You will have to regrow a lot of other things.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Richard and Chipo arrive home. Chipo, who is in Richard's body, takes out some packages from the boot of the car. And then, what's all that?
Well, let's just say I went and did some retail therapy.
With my card?
Well, whose card was I supposed to use? I am you after all, and trust me, you have earned a great rep with the ladies because you are such a thoughtful husband who buys his wife such great quality hair.
I can't believe you just did that.
Well, I had to replace the weave you ruined.
Oh, really?
Sorry, but I'm not really sorry.
Oh, oh, forgot to tell you that I told Charity to return the shoes you ordered a month ago from Italy.
No, you kidding, right?
Do I look like I'm kidding?
Why would you do that? I mean, do you know the trouble I went through to get them?
Well, too bad. I ain't sorry about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, for your information, you now owe Farai money.
What do you mean I owe Farai money?
Okay, how do I put it? You and Carol kind of got bumped and grinded in the office.
What? Chipo looks at him with raised eyebrows.
Yeah, and I must say she came prepared in the dress you told Farai you liked.
Chipo, it wasn't like that.
Whatever. But all I can say is that this thing of yours being hard helped a lot.
No way. You didn't.
Ask this guy who keeps waking up at the most inappropriate times. Can you see he's even less angry?
You gotta be kidding me, right?
Do you know that she has a tattoo under one of her breasts?
What?
Please drop the act. How long have you two been seeing each other?
Babe, I swear, I've never.
Spare me the details. I know what I know.
I swear I've never.
Stop, okay? Nothing happened if I hadn't stopped it.
Trust me, I would have done the same.
Yeah, right.
But how did you know that she has a tattoo on her breast?
So she has one.
No, yes,
What?
I saw it when we went for the pool party at work. I swear.
You know what? Let's leave it.
I would never do that to you.
I won't. I know you won't, because I told her where to get off.
You did what?
I handled it okay, and it would be nice if you did not look so devastated.
Chipo, babe, I hope you don't make things awkward,
Trust me, you will be okay.
if you say so. Richard, who is in Chipo's body, walks out of the bedroom completely naked and starts waltzing up and down provocatively.
I will never, oh, I will never do that. You know that, right?
That's the problem right there.
And it's not doing anything for this little dude.
Pointing at the grave. Richard bends down with her back to Chipo, then turns around and starts touching her boobs, looking at the now erect penis.
Oh man, we are doing so well.
You were saying?
Well, you have an unfair advantage, and I have no control over this thing.
Tell me about it.
What do I do?
Lucky for you, I know exactly how to bring this big guy down, and I've just the tools to do that. Thanks to Charity.
What do you mean?
Well, she gave me this. He takes out the vibrating ring.
I'm sure you asked for it.
Well, yeah, and by the way, I do not have a headache.
Well played.
So,
Let's do this. I would love to ride you all night. I'm sure you will have a headache after tonight.
bring it on, says ripping the packet on. Let me help you with this. Chipo removes the boxer shorts. Richard, who is in Chipo's body, screams, Chipo, what did you do to my bazooka? Ah! What possessed you to shave off all the hair?
Oh, I am sorry. It looks cleaner, at least for me.
No, it looks like a baby bird that's been thrown out of its nest. Why? You've stripped me of my manliness.
I shaved my armpits and legs and hands too.
What? No, 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 no. Why?
It's not that much of a big deal. I mean, you can always grow the hair back.
That's not the point. I won't be able to show myself in just my boxes for a long time because you've turned me into this shaven grandpa bay. Why, Chipo? Why?
Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. I will make it up to you.
How?
I don't know, but all I know is that this guy here is getting more and more excited every time you jump up and down. Can we sort that out? Can we sort that one out?
Huh? You know what? I have a headache.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. You of all people know about this.
Fine.
Yeah, fine. Getting in the blankets and looking the other way. A few minutes later,
Richard, please, I'm dying here. Just help a sister out.
fine. If it wasn't for the fact that I actually care about my body's well being, I would not be doing this.
Jump on, baby. I'm all yours.
I never thought I would hear you say this. Richard takes out the vibrating ring from the packet and is about to put it on Chipo, who is in his body. Talking to his, I'm so sorry, man. I will make it up to you. I will make it right by you. You'll be fierce again. Chipo rolls her eyes.
Tell me when you're done with your little bromance down there. So, how does this thing work?
Richard presses the button and it starts vibrating.
Wow, what the fuck?
Wow!
Make it stop. It's making me dizzy.
Hold the bazooka so it doesn't vibrate so much.
Ew, you do it.
Richard grabs a hold of it and he can feel the vibration in his hand. This is not weird at all. I mean, I feel like I'm about to do another guy. And what's worse, that guy is myself.
Just hop on already.
Richard gets on top of Chipo and they start making love.
Oh shit, this feels so good. My breasts. Fuck, I am sexy. Oh shit.
Ah, shit. And oh, flip, I'm coming.
Oh shit. Ah.
They both scream and Richard gets off from atop Chipo and they both lie back looking up, still breathing heavily. Wow, that was amaze balls.
Amazing and weird at the same time. I mean, I never thought I would actually enjoy grouping myself in that way.
At
Ugh,
least now you know how I feel.
damn, but it was good. And at this rate, I think I can go on the whole night.
I swear I need to record this for the future references.
Stop it and come here. Tonight, I'm going to fuck your brains out.
Bring it on. Chipo in Richard's body is in the kitchen making breakfast when Richard walks in with legs spread apart, walking a bit funny.
Good morning, honey. Are you ready for another round?
Another round, my foot.
Come on, this young man here is ready, willing, and able for some morning glory.
Please leave me. Leave me. I think at this rate, I'll have a headache for the rest of the week.
Come on, you can't do this. Oh, you can do this.
It's so easy for you to say because your groin isn't feeling like exposed raw meat. You injured me last night. It's not funny.
So why are you walking funny?
No, I'm walking funny because I want to.
Okay, if you say so. Anyway, since you didn't wake up to make breakfast for your hardworking husband, I decided to do it for you.
What do you mean?
Oh, in case you've forgotten, you are now me, so you have to get to live. You have to get to live my life and do the things I always complain about, but still do, including cooking, cleaning, doing dishes, or the laundry as well.
What?
Oh, and your mom said you have to be there at 11, so don't be late. I really don't like being on your mom's bad side.
Shit, I'd forgotten about that.
Lucky for you, I have prepared the salad so you won't make a fool of me when you're at your mom's place.
Great.
You got to start getting ready. I will drop you off, then meeting up with Dave at the car wash.
What? No, 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 no.
Wait, why not? I mean, you get to enjoy being me and all the activities I get to enjoy. So I'm doing the same. Trust me, I'm not really looking forward to it.
You're right. You're not going to be stuck with my mom all day, are you?
Say what?
Nothing.
Might I remind you that you, kind sir, volunteered my services? Karma is a real bitch, ain't it?
Can't you call and tell her I can't make it?
I'm sure she will buy it if the excuse is coming from me, her son.
Okay.
But you know what? I won't.
What?
I want you to experience my life at its fullest so you will understand me better and I will do the same. Maybe I will understand you better too.
Well, because in this case, I'm getting the short end of the stick.
Say what?
You heard me.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way because that is my life.
Whatever.
Yeah, please get ready. You know how your mom gets.
Chico and Richard arrived at Richard's mother's house and are walking into the house. I don't understand why I have to wear this ridiculous attire. Why couldn't I wear a pair of jeans and sneakers? It's more comfortable.
Well, because I have to dress appropriately if I'm visiting your mother. And well, here we are, so get over it already. Why are you wearing that headgear anyway?
Because I want to.
It's very unflattering and will only give your mom ammunition against me.
Let's just say we're even, because I don't exactly look dapper with that beard.
Whatever.
Richard in Chipo's body knocks on the door as Chipo is busy tying her shoelaces. Richard's mom opens the door. Mommy!
You are late.
She starts walking to the kitchen. Richard follows behind. Huh? It's 11:07.
I said 11, so you are late, and now you have thrown my whole program off.
Mommy, it's just 7 minutes, and I've already prepared the salads.
Well, you should have asked me if I wanted you to make those kind of salads.
But mommy, you said you love Chipo. But mommy, you said you love Chipo. I mean my salads.
I don't know what had possessed me when I said that, and please stop calling me mommy like that, cause that's mine and my son's thing.
But I'm your.
Ooh, oh, well, where is my son anyway? I'm not sure if he.
Chipo in Richard's body enters with a huge smile on her face. Then her face drops.
Richard, what happened to your beard?
That's what I want to know.
Well, I wanted to try something different, Mom.
It is different, and I think I kind of like it.
You do? It was Chipo's idea.
Ah,
Oh,
that makes sense. She wants to make you look like a clown. You can say that again.
I'm so happy to see you too, Mummy.
Richard rolls his eyes. You look like you've lost weight. You weigh too. What's wrong?
Nothing,
I'm sure you're missing your mother's cooking. I'll pack some food for you so at least you can have a decent meal instead of those horrid takeaways you're forced to buy all the time. Chipo smiles. Richard shakes his head.
That won't be necessary, Mummy. But if you insist, I would appreciate it.
Oh, my poor son. I told you to stay away from these so called slay queens. But do you listen? I'm right here. And if you haven't noticed,
I love her, Mom, so please don't say that.
that's why you don't call me or come to see me as often as you used to.
Mom, you know that's not true. Anyway, I have to go. I hope everything goes well.
Already? Can't you stay a bit longer?
No, I'm meeting with the guys.
Oh, okay. I would have wanted you to see someone.
I'm sure, but I have to go. Hope everything goes well.
I hope so too.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye, Mom.
Chipo starts walking out. Richard's mom follows him.
Richard, I haven't received any money from you this month. Did Chipo tell you to stop sending? Oh, which money? Okay, you want to go?
The 3,000 I said I need to pay for my helper and gardener. Your wife still comes with groceries, but she buys me cheap stuff.
Don't worry, Mom. I will speak to her and I will sort everything out.
Thank you. Car wash. Chipo has met up with Dave. They're sitting by the car wash as the cars are getting washed. Dude, I was planning a weekend away with Gerald, Donald, and Finch. Have you managed to get a visa from your wife?
Not
Yeah.
not yet. Give me more information about this getaway so I know what angle I should use.
Well, I told you about the resort in Sun City. Quiet and secluded. We'll even get off on a cruise and just have a hell of a time.
Just us guys?
Well, we need to discuss about that. Because to be honest, I really want this to be a guy's getaway in every sense of it. Beer, sport, fishing, no women, no drama. But I don't know about the other guys.
I'm with you on that one. So which dates are you proposing?
I'm thinking end of next month when it's nice and hot.
Cool. Let me speak to Chipo and hear what she will say.
Did you manage to convince her that nothing happened with your secretary?
Not really. I mean, she still doesn't believe me.
I won't lie. That I was equally surprised and did not go for the that you did not go for the kill because that Carol had big plans for you that night.
You make it sound like I'm always going for the kill.
Dude, come on. You were you were that guy back in college. I don't know what happened to you when you got married.
Well, Chipo happened.
But you said she's dead in bed.
I did?
Yeah, so has it changed?
Well, she's not so bad anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
If you say so. Richard's mom's house. Richard is in the kitchen grating carrots when his mother and Tamara walk in.
Oh, it's you.
Who else?
Great. Great. Mom, so what do you want me to do?
Please take over, my dear. I mean, I've been up since like 4, making all the food, all alone.
Oh, no, really?
I have high blood pressure and all, so I really appreciate you coming because nothing much has been happening. Richard is surprised. Mommy, what do you mean? I've been peeling and cutting like you asked me to since I came.
You see what I have to deal with. I don't know why you can't talk to me nicely. I wish my son could see this.
What?
Don't worry, Mom. I'm here now and I won't let anyone treat you otherwise.
What is that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I said.
You know what, Tamara? Just leave it.
No, you can't let her speak to you like that. Does Richard know?
My dear, I don't know. I don't want to cause any trouble. I know that one day my son will realize that he should have listened to me when I told him that you were the perfect bride for him.
Mommy, what have I ever done to you?
You took my son from me. That's what.
What? How?
He doesn't come to see me as often as he used to because he says that you are keeping him busy.
That is unfair.
Unfair? Do you know how it feels to be in my shoes when your only child replaces you?
Mommy, I haven't. I mean, you haven't been replaced. Sometimes Richard is busy
Busy with what?
with work, his friends, and sometimes we spend time together. Doesn't mean he loves you any less.
Well, that's so easy for you to say.
Tamara, please stay. Oh, sorry.
Well, oh, Tamara, please stay out of this. Chipo walks in from the car wash. Everyone looks at her as she walks in with a huge grin on her face. Richard's mom touching her chest. Oh, my heart, my poor heart. Chipo looks at Richard, who then rolls his eyes.
Mom, are you okay?
I have some chest pains. But I guess I'll be okay now that you're here.
What's happening?
Your wife happened.
You know what? I can't do this.
Richard walks out. Tamara rushes to hold Richard's mom.
Mom, are you okay?
I'm okay, my dear. Richard, your wife is going to kill me one day.
What? How?
Richard's mother sits on the sofa. Why did you not listen to me and marry Tamara? Why? Tamara looks at Chipo and mouths, I will always love you. Chipo looks away. Richard and Chipo walk into their house in silence. Chipo, who is in Richard's body, instinctively goes to the kitchen while Richard goes and throws himself on the sofa and switches on the TV. After a few minutes, he pauses the program and stands up and goes to the kitchen where Chipo is busy cooking. He hands her the remote. Hey, I think you're in the wrong place.
Maybe, but who says that's how it should be? We both here and we can both sit, relax, and watch TV.
You're right. What do you need me to help you with?
You can chop the vegetables.
That is literally what I spent the whole day doing. I was kind of becoming an expert at it.
Really?
Yeah. Why didn't you tell me that's what happens when you go to my mom's place?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that you will defend me, to be honest.
Wow. Wow, I feel really bad and I'm so sorry about that.
Uh, it's fine, I guess. I've kind of developed a thick skin. But can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
Does Tamara have anything to do with why you want me to spend time with your mom?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I thought maybe if my mom spends time with you, she'll realize what a great person you are inside and out.
you think so?
I would have never asked you to marry me if I did not think so.
I'm chuffed.
They both laugh. Can I say something?
Y- Uh,
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, sure.
I'm sorry for not believing you about the Carol story and for pushing you for so long.
What happened?
Well, let's just say Dave happened and he made me see things differently.
My man.
He told me about the boys' weekend away.
He did?
Yep. So, were you going to tell me about it?
I was waiting for the right moment.
Okay, so it's that time you were also going to tell me that I am like a sack of potatoes in bed.
He said that?
Yes, he did.
Baby, I'm sorry.
Don't be. It hurt hearing it said like that, but guess I kind of dropped the ball.
Truce?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And I promise I'll bring back the magic starting tonight.
No, 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 no. Not after the way you rode me last night.
Say what?
I've never done that. Have I?
You are worse, I think.
No way. You tossed and turned me like a pancake.
Really?
Yes. I was left feeling very fragile.
Okay, I will be gentler tonight.
Hell no.
Come on, baby, help a brother out.
No, no, no. I have a headache.
Really now?
You of all people should know this. They get into a playful scuffle with Chipo in Richard's body, rubbing herself on Richard's bum, and as he does the head wrap he was wearing falls, revealing the completely bald head. Chipo shrieks.
What?
Babe, look, I can explain.
Richard, please tell me that I am dreaming.
Well, you're not, but
We called a truce.
yes, we did.
But what?
I wanted to get back to you for shaving off all my bodily hair.
You gotta be kidding me. Is that why you're wearing that hideous headgear all day?
Well, yes.
When did this happen?
I did it this morning.
How could you?
Baby, I promise I can explain. And that is how the fight started. Thank you so much for joining us. That is the end of the segment. We'll be back after the break.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Homo Show.
Yeah, and we are in Pride Month.
We are in Pride Month, and tonight
Celebrating queers.
Queers,
And all
queers.
that is queer.
so we're doing a fundraiser on the 29th of October. Currently hosted by ilovemelville.live, and there's sponsored food and drink.
Entertainment.
We've got the Avalon Quartet. We've got the Mamas.
Lilo's going to perform.
And Robert Whitehead. Patsy City, I tell you, there was everybody everywhere.
And we're back. This is the revival right here on ilovemelville.live. I am joined in studio by my lovely guest, Tiffany, who has been great. So right now we're on Date My City, and where the two cities we're looking at are Nairobi, where she is originally from, but she has been all over, so she can give us the few all the places that she's been. She can tell us the nice places to go, the nice food to eat, the languages, and. But today our main focus is Nairobi and the Northwest Province. So Tiffany, tell me about Nairobi. What do you remember about Nairobi?
Uh,
What are the?
traffic. Um,
Is it that bad?
no, the traffic is really terrible.
Is it is it worse than here?
Yes, yeah. I would definitely say it is. Like it's very very deep, and it's like all day long. Whereas like at least here there's peak times,
Uh-huh.
so there's really deep traffic. There was like one bar that I really loved going to.
Uh-huh.
Was it called Sierra or something? It was a craft beer bar, and they used to make the beer there.
Oh
So
wow.
that was kind of awesome. So yeah, it was just like bits and pieces. Like I didn't when I was home, because when I lived there I was very very young,
Yes.
and now when I go home I don't really go out
Go
that
out like
much.
that. Okay.
Yeah, but like I did have friends those times when like clubbing was a big thing, and there was this street called Electric Avenue, which was
And
like
like,
very
okay,
very
but there's
great.
a song about called Electric Avenue.
Yes,
What is it called?
it's literally
Na
called
na
it.
na
We're
na.
gonna walk
That
down to
new
Electric
Electric
Avenue.
Avenue.
Yeah,
Na
so
na
it's
na
just
na
like
na
this
na.
street of like lights and things, just like your
Oh
average
wow.
club thing. But yeah,
Is it like Long Street vibes?
yes, yeah. So it has that feel, but like I think rather than Long Street where all the clubs are a lot more curbside, so
Mm-hmm.
this one sometimes some of them are curbside, some of them you have to go into buildings and stuff like that. So it
Oh,
is like it's a whole bunch of things.
Electric Avenue, people. Remember that.
Mhm.
And in Kenya, what languages are spoken?
I think there's like 42 languages in total, but like our official language is Kiswahili.
Okay,
And then there's like all the sort of sub languages and
languages.
stuff. So like a lot of people will speak Swa.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh,
then
so you
there
call it Swa?
yeah.
Okay.
So there are some spaces that don't speak Swa, and like but like generally it's like Kiswahili and English. Yeah.
Oh wow. And what's the what do you know the lingo? Like if I want to say
I do
hello,
not. Nope.
hello.
Nope.
So how do you say okay, how do you say hello? Can you even speak
I
Kiswahili?
can speak some Swa, but like not enough to like be teaching you live on air. Like
Okay,
I because I
I get
haven't
you, I
lived.
get you.
I think in total I've lived at home for like a year and some change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was when I was in Braben and then when I was in Turi. But then at that time I was like
You okay.
I was very very young,
Very
and
young.
then like since around the age of like 11, no even younger, around the age of 10, I
Mm-hmm.
left and I moved to Tanzania for a little while. Then I moved to the UK for a long time, and then now I'm here.
And are you picking up languages as you're moving
I
from
am
place to
not
place?
linguistical like that. Is
Oh my gosh,
linguistical even a word?
I
I do
don't
not
know,
know,
but
but
I
I'm
think
not.
I'm like you as well. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
I
oh,
don't pick up languages. Like I do not
you're
pick up.
bad like that. Okay.
Woo.
So the fact that I picked up about Nairobi, it is the capital of Kenya, of course, and the name comes from the Maasai phrase "Enkari Nairobi," which translates to cool water, a reference to the Nairobi River, which flows through the city. The one thing that I found very fascinating, you've got a national park. Is it in the like somewhere in the sea? Where is this national
It's
park?
like if it's the one that I'm thinking of, it's
Mm-hmm.
like in the middle of town, and it's like very accessible, and people go there for like Christmas and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
like general holidays, and people like picnic, and they'll be there with their families and stuff like that.
But is
But
it a
like,
is it a really like
but I
big?
don't know if I'm thinking of like the national park in terms of, are you talking about the one with the animals and stuff, or are you talking about the one that's just like
Because it
a
says
glorified like Melville
they've
copies?
got a national park in town. So I'm thinking maybe that's the same one.
Yeah, no, there's like just like a big old like all access
Mm.
central park type
Mm-hmm.
park. But then there's also all of the game drives and stuff. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but I know we do not have game drives in the middle of town though.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's just like a I guess it's like a park, like with benches and trees and like where you can just go and chill.
And the one with the animals, is it
Uh
near night?
no, you
It's
gotta
a
drive
bit
a little bit out. Like especially well, and also it depends like what area you're going
you're
to.
going to. Okay.
So like if you're going to like the Rift Valley, or if you're going to the Masai Mara, stuff like that. Then
Mm-hmm.
so Rift Valley is not that far, right? But then like the Masai Mara, you gotta like drive quite far and like just figure out like the space and things like that.
Okay, and the food, do you, because I think now it's a bit tricky because you didn't stay in Nairobi in Kenya for a while. But when you were a child, do you remember something that you really liked from Kenya? Or
I still
that you
really
still.
love pilau. Like I like because when I go home I eat food.
Mm-hmm.
So like I still really loved pilau. I still really love pilau.
And
I love
what is
so
that?
it's like I guess here it's the closest thing would be biryani.
Okay, okay.
Yes, so it's like that whole like very Indian based dish. Also I love chapatis. A lot of our food, a lot of our better food is drawn from like Indian cuisine.
Okay.
Um, but then we also have like with Kikuyus, we're not very like vibey about like food. So we have like githeri, which is just basically like all beans. Like it's just like a mainly bean meal. And it's very bland and we're just like not the biggest, like we're not like the West Africans who are really pulling it out the bag.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we have githeri, we have mokimo, which is corn with smushed peas. And it's like it almost comes out like a poppy pasty thing. Yeah, like it's a lot. It's,
But is it can you find it here? Or
I
do you not go
No,
out of your way to look for?
it's not the sort of food you go out of your way to look for.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yeah.
Because I know there's, and then the street food. What is it called? The meats on the street. What is it called? I had it.
We have
Nyama choma.
uh, okay. I
Nyama
love it.
choma.
That does not tend to be meats on the street. It's just like brai. It's literally just brai food. It's so but
Okay,
it's
okay.
mainly like it's mainly goat. We love to, unlike South Africans where you brai everything,
Mm-hmm.
where you like goat, lamb, and this and that, and sausages. Like so, us if we have like nyama choma, it will tend to be goat meat,
Uh-huh.
like mainly revolving around goat meat. Sometimes throw in some chicken as well if you're like feeling really wild. But like yeah, so it's goat meat and like it's basically nyama choma is just basically like
A
bride
braai.
meat. Yeah,
So it's like going to chisa nyama.
yeah,
Same
essentially. Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. It's the exact same thing.
But I've noticed that in other countries, even in Zim,
Hmm.
we like our goat meat. But here, that's not really
Yeah,
the
no, it's
case.
not a big thing here, which
It's
is
not.
so weird.
Yeah,
Like
it
it's
is. Because
so
for me, I find
so
I
weird.
find goat meat is very nice. It's got a nice taste. But I think maybe it's because I don't get to eat it a lot, so
Hmm.
maybe that's why I like it when I do eat it. But yeah, here
So
in
it
South
becomes
Africa,
like
it's not.
almost a delicacy.
Yeah, but yeah, in
Mm.
South Africa, it's like goat. What is that? um, the other thing, so the city, I did say the city is popularly referred to as the Green City in the Sun. And Nairobi was founded in 1899. The town quickly grew to replace Machakos as the capital of Kenya in 1907.
Hmm.
Um, Kenya was, so it's during Kenya's colonial period, the city became a center for the colony's coffee, tea, and sisal industry. So, do you have a lot of coffees and teas and all those, or it's maybe back in the day?
No, no, no. We still grow a lot of coffee and tea and stuff. So like people have like these like sprawling coffee farms,
Mm-hmm.
uh, tea farms and stuff like that. I had an aunt who got into tea for a little while, but I think she got out again. But yeah, like it's like a genuine thing. But it's the really weird thing with our tea industry is all of our best tea is sent to the UK.
Oh,
So yeah, so all of our best tea is sent to the UK, and we're left kind of like with the dredges of our tea and coffee. And yeah, but like
yeah, that's the sad reality. What kind of tea is it? Is it just the normal tea, or is it those nice
no, no,
exotic
no. It's
teas?
just like we just normal tea, like no herbs and spices, no citrus, no this, just bog standard tea. Mm.
Are you a tea person yourself?
I am. I do really love a good cup of tea. I feel like it's one of those things whether it's hot, cold, whether you're feeling good, bad,
Cold tea.
like no hot, cold as in the
Okay.
weather,
Okay. Okay.
not
Okay.
the
Sorry.
tea. Hot, cold, feeling good or bad, like yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like tea. It's time for tea.
Okay. Another interesting fact: Nairobi was a swamp,
Also, I'm learning so much from you, like so much.
and yesterday it was the same thing where people were like, "Huh? Are you still talking about the same place where I'm coming from?" Nairobi was a swamp.
Mhm.
The skyscrapers of Nairobi sit on what was almost a large swamp that Maasai pastoralists referred to as a place of cool waters. Nairobi is one of the few cities in the world with a national park. Experience magical game drives in the park's plains. So, okay, they
Oh,
make it.
maybe there are maybe
They,
it is one of those. I personally have never been, but like
yeah, because when I was reading about it, makes it almost seems like this game park is like smack in the middle of
maybe
Nairobi, and
there
you're just
is.
like
I know there's the giraffe center, but I don't know about like an actual game drive.
game drive.
Yeah.
And then that, have you ever been to the museums?
No, I have not.
You haven't,
No.
because apparently there's some great history there. So there's the National Railway Museum, the Karen Blixen Museum.
Oh, I've been
Then,
to the Karen Blixen one. Yeah,
what
it's okay. It's
is
just
it?
a house. It's literally just a house, and it's converted. It has like photos and stuff.
So is it like one of those where it was
Where did you
Karen
get
Blixen?
that off? Visit Kenya.
A lot of places, to be very honest. I was like, interesting facts about Nairobi.
Yeah, no, like for some reason the Karen Blixen thing is like such a big thing. I think that they should mention that she gave a lot of people an STD in her area.
Sure.
And one of the richest areas is named after her. It's called Karen.
And that is so sad, though. That
Yeah, and
is
she
so
gave like all
sad.
of the like so it's like one of those things that she came as one of those like people from abroad. I don't know which ones.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was just like one of those things where she gave like a lot of people a lot of STDs.
And then she stayed in that house, and then now this house is like a
Yeah, it's been
monument.
converted to like a monument to her. It's just
Okay. Okay. Now
trash,
and
but
now
it's
it's
fine.
like, yeah. Okay. Nairobi has the most Maasai markets. Maasai markets. Tell me about the Maasai people. Like I like the that dance. What do you call it?
I do not know. Me, I'm not Masai. I do not know about their life. I don't know about their
Oh wow.
culture. I just know if you hit their like
Territory.
no, not their territory, their cows, then they'll get really upset.
Yeah, I can
That is
imagine.
literally all I know. Like the
And
Masai are a I don't know. Like I
I think
literally have no idea about
and I
them.
think a lot of times, like even for me, like I'll think, okay, fine, she's from Kenya, the Maasai should be like somewhere there where you like they're easily accessible. But
No,
then
the
when
Masai
you
are
look
like
at
in their
in
own
their
area.
own
So
area,
it's like coming and being like, tell me what you know about the Khoisan. I don't
okay, I
know.
get
Like I
what
don't
you
live
mean.
like
I
next
get
door to
what
the
you mean.
Khoisan.
I get
But
what you
like
mean.
because they're like the best cultural representation, quote
Of
unquote best cultural
of
representation.
okay.
Yeah, like they have their own thing, they're doing their own thing. Like man, I don't know, man.
And then it says Nairobi has the most number of malls, obviously.
Yeah, it has way too
Um,
many malls.
are you
Way
serious?
too many malls. And there's always
Like,
one popping up. And because we don't have a big like retail chain culture like
mm-hmm.
here, you end up like with malls with the most random things. Like at least here in South Africa, if you have a mall, there'll be a Foschini, there'll be a Mr. Price, there'll be a this, there'll be a
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
There, like I don't even know why we have so many malls, right? Like because you have our bog standard supermarket, which has changed our national supermarket. I put national in bunny ears
Uh-huh.
because there's always that one big supermarket that's like
Yes.
blowing everybody else out the water. It's changed nationally three
Uh,
times. So there was Uchumi, and then Uchumi went under, then Nakumat, then Nakumat went under. Now we've got this French company called Carrefour, but all the
yeah.
Kenyans call it Carrefour
Okay.
because we need to do what we need to do.
Yes.
And
We
yeah, so
can't break
like
our tongues.
we
Yeah.
can't Carrefour. But yeah, like it's one of those things where there's a lot of malls, but I don't know what they're filled with. There's always an art cafe in the mall,
Uh-huh.
which is a type of restaurant. And then after that, I'm like, "Ugh," but then I'm such a bad representation of this. I'm the worst person to ask. You should have told me what it was we were
Oh
talking
my
about. I would have
gosh.
like I would have been able to like tell you better. I thought I don't know what's going on right now.
And so the other thing, there's great weather. Do you remember about the weather? Is it hot?
I
'Cause
do go
I
home. Like I
because
I feel like you get it twisted. I
no,
do
no, 'cause
go
for me, I'm
home
like,
every
year
year.
10.
I just don't do all the things that like I go home every year. Like
Mhm.
at least and when I'm doing work there, I go home like 3-4 times a year. So I do remember like what Nairobi looks like. I'm not gonna
Is it
land and be
hot?
shocked.
Is it hot, cold,
It's
or
it's it's got it's chill weather. Like it's because it's on the equator, the weather tends to be quite stable.
mm-hmm.
So like it will like the weather could drop or it could rise, but like the weather tends to be quite stable. But like
Okay.
now when you go to like certain places like the coast,
Mm-hmm.
then it's really, really humid,
Okay.
right? And then some places like my hometown, the the weather can get like really, really cold. So we're
Okay.
always lighting a fire and stuff. But like, yeah, the weather tends to be very, very stable. So there's not like that big season change
Okay.
vibe.
And then transport in Nairobi. Anyone who has ever visited Nairobi will tell you about the streets of Nairobi, the matatus,
Yes.
which are the main public transport, the duties, motorbikes, another popular transportation in the city, and the taxi services, including the Uber, Bolt, and Little Cab, among others. So, what's the Bolt? Is it the same thing?
Yeah, but we have Bolt here. Taxify. You
Oh,
don't know that we have Bolt here?
I didn't know. I just ish.
So the one that's actually exclusive to Kenya is Little Car.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, there is Bolt, which previously known as Taxify until they had to rebrand.
Oh, okay, okay, that
And yeah,
makes sense.
there's
'Cause,
Uber,
yeah,
and then there's the Matatus, which are as confusing as the taxis here, right? They're as confusing because like taxis in Cape Town are a lot easier to like navigate than taxis here.
how?
Like, have,
Why would? Because I've never,
have you been
I've
on
been
the
to Cape
taxis?
Town. I've never been to on a taxi in Cape Town.
Yeah, no, it's very straightforward. Like you go and they're like the waterfront, the this, the that, and the route is very
Okay,
straightforward.
okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Whereas
saying.
here it's like you get on a taxi and it goes left at the last right, and you're like, why? But why?
And you remember the signs?
Yeah, but in Cape Town you don't even need the signs. You just
I
need to
used,
get on a taxi, and
and you
if it's
know
going
if
in
it's
the
going
general
to,
direction,
then
yeah.
it's going.
If you know if you're going to like Salt River or whatever, then
It's going to.
that's where it's going. Here you don't even know. There's no signs. There's nothing. That's why I came here and I was just like, it's for Uber. Done. I'm done.
Oh, when did you move from Cape Town to here?
Like 5 years ago.
Okay,
So in
okay.
like 20,
So
yeah,
it's been a
2015.
while.
Yeah.
So at least now you're, but Uber is always the best.
Yeah, no, I do. I think I've taken a taxi here like twice.
It's
I'm
the
like,
worst.
no.
It's the worst thing ever. Trust me.
Mm-mm.
I've lived that life before, and yo, it's another. Yeah, that's another story for another day.
It's live. It's
Uh,
deep.
so that was Nairobi. The other um city we're doing, or the other town we're doing, is the north. It's not a. I'm doing a whole province because I didn't know which city or which town. Northwest province. So the capital is Mafikeng. Have you been to the northwest? Do you know any other places besides Sun City?
No,
That side. Have
no.
you? So you haven't? Because for me, I only know Sun City. I've been to. It seems like they're very nice cultural things going on there, because they say there's the Pilanesberg National Park, the Madikwe
Mm-hmm.
Game Drive, and the Rustenburg Nature Reserve are home to many of the Africa's wildlife and the Big Five.
Mm-hmm.
Northwest is home to two of the 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These two places are Tawung Skull Fossil Site, and this is a child skull that was found in 1924 and is believed to be 2.5 million years old. I don't know how people determine that though. I mean, because for me, it's like there were so many people. How do you just find one? Where are the other ones? Like, how?
I don't know. Actually, that's a really good question. Where are the other ones?
Yeah, because for me, it's like, oh, okay, so now there's Homo naledi, and that was like, oh, okay, fine, 2.5. Then now there's this one, and I'm just like, how do they test? How do they find out that this one, and where is everyone else? Because apparently this child was attacked by a bird, a huge bird, a prehistoric bird. That's
Maybe he
how
was carried off.
Oh yeah, maybe they all drowned. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I don't know where those bones are.
And then there's a group called the Okay, now I'm not gonna try to say this. It's a group of the Tswana people.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still very traditional. So if you go to their village, you experience everything about their culture. They've been in the same area since 1924.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try to say it, but their chief was the first chief. He was called Hosi Pilani. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where Pilanesberg comes from. So that was Hosi
Oh.
Pilani who settled with these people back in the 1800s, and in this area they're still there. They're still doing the same things, but they've kept their village the same way. They just rebuilt. I think they just modernize it a little bit, but they still keep it the same way, the same food. So if you go,
So it's like a historic monument in
y-
itself.
yes, and I
Ah.
think that the way when I read about it, it's like when you go there, the people will give you a show. They'll just make you feel you stay. If you want to sleep in their houses, then you sleep. You actually get to experience a day in their life the same way
Oh.
that they did it. So, and I don't know about the popular terms. I just know that the popular terms in South Africa, they're more or less the same. The hola, I don't know about Northwest. Do you think that they've got their own, or South Africa's got? Because in Cape Town, are there any ways that they greeted each other? Because I know yesterday we were talking about it, like here in Joburg, how do people greet each other, like in the street style? So you can say
Ish,
hola,
I don't
eta,
know.
sho, you know.
Like, no, I don't know why nothing is coming to mind right
And
now.
I know sometimes when you put on the spot, you're like,
You're just
okay,
like,
right,
I don't
okay,
know. Like,
now.
we just greeted. Like, it was fine.
Yeah, I know. And they speak Setswana and
Mhm.
Afrika. So there's 65% of the people there speak Setswana, 7.5 Afrikaans, and the others, all of the other ones, the 5.8 speak isiXhosa. I hope I'm saying
Ah.
it correctly. And then, of course, there's Sun City with the four hotels and an ad. Have you been to Sun City lately?
I have
After
never been
COVID?
to Sun City at all, I
You
think.
haven't?
No.
It's really nice because I went, I think last year. Last year I was there, but it was before COVID, so it's still fun. I think now the first time that I went, I was like, oh my gosh. Last time when I went, I was just like the value of the waves thing.
Oh, is that the one where people go and then you go in the slides and there's waves and stuff like
Yes,
that?
and then there's a part
Oh.
where the like it's like a giant pool kind of, but people are walking, and then at some point you hear like a bell or some they make a sound, then all of a sudden the water becomes this huge wave. But then
Oh.
after, so everyone you're covered by this wave, and it's like but then now weaves are all over, and you're like trying to grab your weave, and
Ooh,
I'm
that
just
sounds
like
kind of nasty.
yes. So like the last time I went, I was just like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
that
gonna sit back and I'm just gonna watch everybody losing their weaves.
like, but why would you go there with that content though? Like, that's when you go with braids, and then your braids in a bun and your bun in another bun.
No. Sometimes you just want to look, and you're trying to do the Baywatch thing, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
isn't that where also people go to have affairs? I thought that's where people go to have affairs. As far as I know,
Yeah,
Sun City is where like it's like
yeah, yeah,
quintessential affair, like
yeah.
locale. Why are you laughing?
I'm
Like,
not.
you've laughed so hard as if
I'm
you
not.
personally witnessed
No,
like six
no,
affairs.
no. I don't. I know nothing. I know nothing. I just went there and I was just
You're
like
just living your
watching.
best life.
I was just living my best life because it's nice when it's hot, but when it gets hot, it's really hot. But it's one place to visit. Okay, okay. I think because me, I've got kids, so it makes
Ah.
sense. Because then there's that maze that you can get into and get lost in, and then there's the lost city.
How do people get found after they get lost in mazes? I feel like that's just a day killer. Because after you get lost and then you're like, you can't find your way out, then you're stressed, and then you're tense.
Yeah, but mazes, I think they give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know why. I think because for me, I watch a lot of horror movies,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
where
think
everyone dies.
yeah. So for me, I think, I don't know, I don't know, and I'm also afraid of getting lost because yeah, what happens like yeah, that whole thing. But yeah, those are the two cities we're dealing with today,
Ooh.
Nairobi and Northwest Province. Thank you so much to my guest, Tiffany Kagure Mugo. Am I saying it correctly though?
Close enough.
Can you
Close
can,
enough.
can you tell me how to say it properly?
Tiffany Kahure.
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 Okay, okay.
It's a
Okay, it
very
says
thingy, because now if you don't say the G softly, then it comes out Kahure, which is apparently a tiny whore. So,
yes,
which is
it is.
it is everything needs to be what it needs to be. It's fine.
And then the Mugo.
Yeah, Mugo.
Oh, so it's okay.
Well, it's Mugo, but Mugo is
Okay, I
fine.
get you. I get you.
Yeah, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's so subtle. People are like, but I'm saying it. I'm like, are you though? Are you?
But thank you so much for joining me. I absolutely enjoyed these 2 hours. Yeah, time moves so fast. But thank you so much for joining me. People, you can get this book. I got it from Bargain Books. It's their exclusive books. So, and let's do the things. What are some of your Instagram handle? What's the Instagram handle for people who like to follow you?
So at Kags Mugo for my
Mhm.
Instagram, and at, I think, Quirky Quick Guide for the book. Sometimes I put fun TikToks on there, not of myself, but other people.
Oh no, but I've seen you doing those
Pole dancing
pole
TikTok.
dancing.
Are you on my Instagram?
I am.
Why are you
I
like
am.
this?
I am. And I see, and I'm just like for me, the pole dancing. I'm just like, shh, I don't know. Okay, but,
It's okay.
ish, ish.
Feel
but,
your
but,
feels. Feel your
and
feels.
do you
Don't
do it
worry.
every day?
Most days. Like I went through a bit of a slump during TikTok and then post breakup things, but I'm trying to get back on it now.
So is it a form of exercise for you?
Yes, 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 yes. Very much so.
Did you teach yourself? Or were you on YouTube and you're like, okay,
I
so this is
had a
how.
pole dancing teacher, and then
Oh
COVID happened, and she went
wow.
to Italy to have her babies, and now she's on her way back. But I'm only gonna start next year because now she comes back, and then I go to Cape Town for 3 weeks, and I come back, then I go home, and it's drama,
And
drama, drama, drama.
how long have you had it?
The pole like 2 years, I think.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh
but
wow.
like for ages, I didn't use it because in the last place that we were living in, it was very unstable, so I wouldn't do
Oh,
anything.
I get you. I get
Yeah,
you.
so it
Boom.
was yeah, it was just not a good look.
And with that, folks, thank you so much for joining us. This is I Love Melville Live, and you were tuned into the revival with me, your host, Makanaka. Until next Tuesday, good night and all the best.